We've got a Sony, yay! It's Sony Trinitron 21 inch from corner to corner. What we're going to do today is we're going to pull apart the Sony Trinitron TV and see what plastic there is that we can use for modelling, and any other pieces of finalia that will be useful. This is an older TV that come from curbside cleanup. All we do is we cut the cord off. You don't need the cord. You could recycle the cord if you like. And all we do now is we just unscrew it. Hello YouTube. The reason why I've decided to try and see if I could glue the milk HDPE and the polystyrene is that the HDPE is, or milk jugs, or milk cartons, or whatever you like to call them. The plastic is rather cheap, whereas the polystyrene, if you don't have it, you have to buy it. Since I found my bit of supply of my polystyrene, but it won't last forever. Whereas the milk containers, they're much cheaper, and people just basically want to give them away. So we can use that plus the polystyrene. We can do the bulk of the well, depending on what you're making, you can do the bulk of your building with the polystyrene. Milk jug material. Then you could just lay the polystyrene over the front, back, top, whatever. Then you have a solid block, or however else you like to use it. You imagine making a big block of this polystyrene if you had to buy it. Yes, that'd be quite expensive. Whereas the milk container, that's pretty much free. I have a project. I've started making the TARDIS. Get some more light on that. Started making the TARDIS, and my option was I'm scratch building it. Got the plans off the internet, off GrabCAD. Brilliant place to go if you want to get 3D models. Anyway, so my problem was that I have the doors. Maybe I should get the doors. Excuse me for a moment. Should have everything ready, but I don't. Right. Doors. Doors of the TARDIS. Go a bit out of shot, wouldn't it? I know. Okay, glue some of that. Oh yeah. That goes on top. I have another set. I've got another 6 sets of doors. Sorry, another 3 pairs of doors. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so my thing was, how do I create the framework for the TARDIS? So either I use polystyrene, I was thinking about it using polystyrene rod, well, tube actually. You put it down there, glue it in, then I can glue my other parts to the structure. Then I'm thinking, not sure if I like that. When you buy the bags of polystyrene, just like that, for the price of that, $8.95, and you get 3 pieces. $8.95 for 3 pieces. 1, 2, and 3. Now, $8.95, and or milk bottle material, free, $8.95. Then again, the $8.95 wouldn't be as strong, especially when you probably have to buy more of it, and that'll be up around probably $30 or maybe even more compared to free, or close to free. Right, so that's what we're going to do. We are going to make, not today, maybe tomorrow. We are going to make a block of blocks so I can use it for my TARDIS. That'll be the framework for the TARDIS. So, until then, thank you for watching. Bye. Look for the ones that have pattern marks on them, arrows. And collect the screws. They might be useful for something, or you can just throw them out. Mostly better repair TVs, or most products have arrows to help the people who are fixing it up to actually pull it apart. Alright, so getting that. Screw. For our marks. These are parts of other TVs that I've pulled apart before. Other Sonys. The only reason why I say Sony and Panasonic is they're the ones that will normally tell on the product what sort of plastic it is. Some of the others will tell you, but majority of the times they won't. It's just another step that they don't need to do, so the cost factor. Right, almost there, if not there. Not maybe I need to do those ones after it. Get that one. Just go off of there. Yeah. Sometimes they hide these screws in plain sight. Right, almost into the gold. You ready to see the gold? Ah, look at it. Right, but that's not the important part. Important part is in here. See if I can get into shot. You can see it right there. Have these two arrows, one on either side, and we have PS. PS stands for all us modelling people. Polystyrene. Would you buy your plastic? Would you try and reuse what you find? Us modelers try and use as much recycled stuff as we can, because it's cheaper. Why spend money when you don't need to? Normally Sony, when they have products and little pieces, they will actually they will put PS on it. As I showed you before, it says PS. Some plastic says ABS, and that's not what I'm using. but PS is the polystyrene. What you can do with the ABS plastic, or the newer TVs, they've got ABS plastic in them, is that plastic would be fine for 3D printers. But I don't have a 3D printer, so. But you'd have to grind it up, then put it in your filament maker to make the filament. Oh no. Cut that up later. Right, and the goodness only keeps getting better. Alright. These fabulous. This TV has been unplugged for like donkey's years. Some haven't, so you just have to be careful. If you don't know what you're doing, then you get someone to help you. This is normally always like high voltage, so you wouldn't necessarily do this if it was live, or if you just pulled the TV out. You'd be very careful. We don't use the picture tubes anymore in Australia anyway. We've all gone over it. Majority of people have gone over to the flat screens. So you find these this plastic here, I don't know what it is. It doesn't have markings on it. Normally I go by the markings. This could be it could be polystyrene, if you can ever see the markings on them, if they have markings on them. Mostly the times they just have part numbers. Well, now, if it had the right plastic, you could use things we can use in the modelling from a TV. Is we can use the copper wire. We can use all the wire, copper wire. This could be, we could spend years and years using just this wire and never run out pretty much. Anyway, so you've got this copper wire, you've got the copper wire in the in these coils up here. Plus there's also copper wire in this magnetic magnet wire here. They call it magnet wire. This is one that's pulled out of another TV. Basically all they do is they apply power here, and it creates a magnetic field around the wire, and it'll be around the TV to keep the stray. I'm no TV expert, but basically keep the stuff in the TV instead of trying to come out of the TV. So now, what we can use, like I said, we can use the copper, we can use the coils. Also, the plastic is polystyrene. All the plastic is, if it's a Sony TV, they will mark it as such. screwdriver's gone walkies. Okay. Just cut the wires. All these wires you can keep, you can use. Alright, that's one part done. To get these coils out, just got to undo these hose clamps. This keeps the yoke from moving. Sometimes you find two of them in here, sometimes you find one. Sometimes you need to give it a bit of a nudge. Alright, there we go. Got the coil off, got the yoke off. We still have our magnetic wire and our picture tube to get rid of. All plastic that is has been made into a man-made object is all basically is a thermo setting plastic. So we could heat it up and remelt it. There are some plastics I imagine aren't thermo setting. Once I get the pitch tube out of here, I will then show you the markings on this. The speakers, you take the speakers out. There are, if you take this apart, there are little coils of wire in here, but I don't think it's really that useful. With the speaker here, you could possibly cut out the paper here and use that, but for maybe seat material for a car, but I think that's probably not good. Alright, so we get rid of the speakers. Okay, almost there. A few more screws. Just be careful not to drop the TV, otherwise if you're picking up all the bits, probably go everywhere. Explosion. What I normally do is once I finish this, I normally cut it up into pieces like this. Then what I'll do is when I'm ready to use it, I'll either cut them up smaller, then I'll get a container with some water in it, and I give the pieces a wash to get rid of any dust or dirt. So you don't want that going into your new bit of plastic that you're trying to make apart. Got the picture tube out. Got our magnetic wire, or magnet wire, that's what they call it. Right, we keep that. Get enough of this stuff, you can take it. You can actually melt the copper down. It's good enough. Got the right process. You can melt it down, and you could turn it on your lathe. Right. What we're looking for is our marks. The polystyrene marks. Don't know if you can see it from there. Have a look from behind the camera. Yeah, you can see it. Right here, polystyrene. Alright, here's a good indication. There are 2 marks on here. Okay. Depending on the type of plastic and depending on the application. Okay. First one is here, which is the PS, polystyrene. So that's basically this whole outer case. Okay. Parts that move. This has a flappy door on it. Okay. This one is marked ABS. Okay, so we don't want that. And other things that would probably be different sort of plastic would be the buttons on the front of the unit. These buttons here, they wouldn't be polystyrene, they would be ABS. That'd be ABS, I imagine. And the button. So all we do is we'll just, hold on.